Okay. All right. And we are live for the Philly Pro-Am post show with special guest El Java. You are a major player in the sport, and I have yet to have you on my show. So I'm really excited to have you on the Power Chat series and just get your perspective on sport karate and you as a person. So, how are you doing today, El Java?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah. And it's
Great.
great to be
Okay.
here.
Yes, definitely. So, you performed really well. You fought really well. Why don't you tell everybody how you did and how the tournament went for you?
Sure, sure. So I competed in the 30 plus point sparring division and the 40 plus point sparring division. I won both both heavyweight categories, and then I won both grand championship categories. So
And what about the competition there? Who did you end up fighting?
yep. Yeah, I had some great fighters in my division. I fought against Akin Williams. I fought against Carlos Flowers from Tamco. I fought, there were in both categories. There were some amazing fighters who are known both regionally in the Northeast, Philly area, but also folks who compete nationally. We even had Troy Whaley in the building competing in that 50 plus division. And
Oh,
so yeah, like we've got plenty of folks who were at the event itself. You asked earlier just like what was my general feeling about the tournament in general. Even though it was you can call it a regional independent type tournament, it had a national tournament feel. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it had
Yeah, those are some big names. I mean, those are names, you see at national, international events. So
right.
just like the level of competition, do you think is what gave it that feel?
Yeah, yeah. So where I was going, it was just that we even in the 18 plus division, for example, we had Bailey Murphy and Tyreek Saint and Cameron Ali and a few of the other folks again who are like household names within the martial arts who were in that at the event. So yeah, I think that because of the level of competitor that would usually show up for Keith McKinley. It was an exciting event, hands down. It was one of the better events that we've competed in some time. So yeah.
I saw your post after the event saying that you like to have a balance between confidence and humility. Can you talk a little bit more about that mentality?
Sure, sure. A lot of times when champions are champions, they get a name for themselves. Sometimes people feel like, oh, this person is arrogant, or this person is cocky, or and that type of thing. And I like to teach my students, and many of my students who compete or just train in general, but also who carry themselves uh, uh, um, in a competitive or in a way that folks who are trying to become successful, right? I let them know that in order to be successful, you do have to be confident in what you do, right? You have to
Mm,
speak with confidence. You have to train with confidence, compete with confidence, right? But there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, right?
mm,
And nobody likes someone who's cocky, right? Like I
mhm.
like somebody who's confident, right? Like if you're confident, like wow, that person is confident, and there's not that's not an insult, but there's a fine line between cocky and sorry, confident and cocky, or confident and arrogant, and that's what I meant. Like as martial artists, we have to stay humble, right?
Mhm.
As people, we have to like be an example for. If we don't want to be an example for everyone else, just realize that other people are watching you, whether you think they are or not. Right? People are looking up to you and trying to emulate your character and things like that. And we've got to in our style, my traditional style is Shotokan. One of the first precepts that we talk about is seeking perfection of character, right? And humility is one of the most important pieces of that. And so yeah, like I made that post because it is like when I everybody knows that when I get into the ring, you are my competitor. You are trying to score on me. I'm trying to score on you. You're trying to beat me. I'm trying to beat you. And if I don't put my all out there, then it's not a respect to you. It's not a respect to myself. It's not a respect. It doesn't show respect to my art, right? And so this is not personal. What's about to happen in the ring right now. But when we step out of the ring, we're friends again, and everything's good. And so yeah, like it's very important to make sure that we have a balance between between being confident with ourselves,
Yeah.
and being humble.
It can, when you talk about how martial arts creates an extended family, and sometimes if you do tip over to the edge of being too cocky, your competitors kind of stay competitors and they no longer are your friends. And so I've shared the ring with sometimes people who the cocky and the arrogance, it disillusioned me to the friendship that we had, right? So how are you going to speak in a way that honestly makes other people feel bad about themselves? And so I think that's a really important aspect, as someone who's been in sport karate for so long and able to get those friendships. Do you feel like that's something that's sustained some of your friendships within coaching and within other martial artists?
Definitely. Listen, I have friends, and as I mentioned in that post, family, extended family in martial arts, and we've been able to stay that close with one another because of that humility. Like I literally have people say to me like you've got to love like the art. You've got to love and have passion for yourself, and respect for and love for your competitors, right? And when you do have that, when if you've beaten someone over and over, or if they've beaten you and you've gotten back to them, or whatever the case may be, they hate to lose to you, but they love you as a person, and that's what you got to do. You got to like kind of make that happen, right? You got to be intentional about that. You can't be like an a-hole. You know what I mean? Like that's I can't say anything, like I can't say it another way. Like you've got to be a genuine, real person, and they've got to like you. They can like you out of the ring, but in the ring we are competing against one another, and it makes them like you even more because you respect them enough to say, look, you got to bring your A game. And again, another part of that post, I appreciate my competitors who make me bring that A game, right? There are folks who I compete against all the time that they let me know that they appreciate how I carry myself, and they reciprocate in the same way. You know what I mean? And that mutual respect and that mutual love is very important. And you don't I can be competitive against them. I still want to win. I still want to win, but I still respect you, and I still and because I respect you, I'm going to train harder than you the next time we get out there. I plan on walking out with the win, right?
Yeah, that Tyreek just commented facts, and that also reminds me of his relationship and friendship with Bailey. Like it's business on the mat, but they're like great friends off of the mat. So
Yes.
now, yeah, and that also, you were talking. What a question that popped up in my head is there any difference fighting like established coaches, and then comparing that to like juniors who are fighting, who, there's a different mentality as a fighter when you develop to be a coach? Do you know what I'm saying? Sorry if it's like kind of, you're at a stage where you're fighting not only fighters and martial artists, but coaches, right? Does that change the fight in any way?
All right, I hear what you're saying. You're just trying to call me old, but that's okay.
No, I'm trying to call you.
Be nice about it. No, I hear what you're saying, and again, that is something that many of the competitors who are in my experience level or at my experience level talk about. You might hear people say, "Man, if I had the information I have now when I was X years old, then forget it could be dangerous," right? And so yeah, like fighting against people who are also coaches and understand the strategy and understand the hard work and dedication that it takes to be a competitor at this level. Like yes, I love it, and it becomes a game of chess instead of a game of, okay, I got you first, or hit you first, or it's not that. and I try to teach my students that. I try to share that with my team members and and the students who I'm the folks who I'm coaching. And that is what you see with when you talk about the Tyreeks and the Baileys and these the folks who are doing it at the top of the cameras and the folks who are doing it at the top of the game right now. They're not just fighting off of physical talent. They're fighting off of strategy. Mm-hmm. They're fighting and physical talent and work ethic, and right. So they're not just physically talented or really smart in the ring. Like they're a combination of physical talent, like a great work ethic and strategy, and they're coachable. These guys have had the opportunity to sit behind many of the folks who would be considered household names in point sparring in martial arts, and folks who are performing at the top of this level are coachable.
So do you think what do you think are like the top 3 qualities in a fighter that separates the cream from the crop, if that's the right phrase? But what makes someone that household name? What are maybe like the top 3 things?
Yeah. Now that I said, because I said 3 things just now. I said 1, you've got to be, you've got to kind of have the talent or physical ability. You've got to have the work ethic, right? The work that you do outside of the competition area, and you have to have the strategy, right?
Strategy.
But I'm going to mention other things, man. Being coachable is important. Right. And so making sure that you are coachable is key. So going back to that humility, being humble enough to realize you don't know everything. Right. Mm-hmm. And then there's this thing that you just can't even put words to. And that's that, like, just this desire, this just sheer desire to win. Like your will to win has to be there. Right. And that's so I mean, I'm cheating by giving you 5 different things.
Yeah.
If you want to ask me for 3, I will certainly say hard work, strategy, and the ability to be coached.
Okay. All right. So for anybody watching, those top 3 definitely things that you would want to hone. Now, another aspect of you is you also have kids that are high-level competitors also in the sport. Can you talk more about that family experience?
So my children.
Yeah,
certainly. And so Ibrahim Abdul Qadir is my 13-year-old son. He's a black belt. He's also on top 10 USA, and he is a great kicker. But again, his work ethic in and out of the dojo is like I absolutely love it. He's working on that third quality of being coachable. And so he's I want to say he's the future. Obviously any parent is going to feel that way about their children, right? Yeah. But man, like physical talent, work ethic. He wants to win, right? And then my daughter Tahira Abdul Qadir. Tahira she just turned 18 years old.
She's a beast.
Oh man, thank you so much for saying that. Like she's getting ready to go to start her first year of college this year. So on when we get back from AmeriKick, we drop her off in her residence hall at Syracuse University.
Which you're repping.
I mean, I've been repping SU for a long time now. I mean, folks may not know when I left New York City years and years ago. I went to Syracuse University as an undergrad, stayed for grad school, and now I teach at Syracuse University. I teach entrepreneurship at the Whitman School of Management there, and so it's amazing. Just blows my mind that my daughter is about to start college, but yeah, like she has been able to take she's been able to balance as well. Like balance is key to us, right? And she's been able to succeed academically and personally and professionally in the various philanthropic things that she does, but she's also been able to excel at our art, and I love that. I love the fact that she enjoys what she's doing and that she puts in the hard work. They just left just now. My wife came to pick them up from the dojo, and so yeah, like it's like those are my kids, and it's just great. They say the family that kicks together sticks together. And I firmly believe that. One of the craziest things was like when we when they started training. I didn't want to be one of those dads who are like, well, I did karate, you got to do karate, or I'm gonna make you do karate, and then that makes them hate it. So what I do, I started a dojo and brought other kids in and made it so that they enjoy doing it as much as in the way that I enjoyed doing it, right? And taught them to love the art as a way of life, and to love the sport and see the sport as what it is, right? It has its role in our lives as martial artists. So I can really go on all day, so I'll stop.
Well, I do want to wrap up this podcast though, talking about, because you are on Top 10 USA. America is coming up this weekend. Let's preview into it. You as a fighter and how you're feeling about going from Philly Pro-Am into America, and what you're excited about with that tournament.
Awesome. So yeah, really looking forward to America. This is one of my favorite NASCAR tournaments. Mark Russo and Bob Liker, have put on a solid event for as long as I can remember, right? And this year, well, I guess one of the things that, in addition to coaching, because one of the reasons why I really go to the tournaments is because I do want to have my, I guess if I'm sharing information with people, either people who I'm coaching or my children or my students, if I'm sharing information with them, I want to show them that it works. Right. And so sometimes I'm going to tournaments and I'm coaching and offering that kind of support. But I like to demonstrate that what I'm talking about works as well, which is why I like to compete.
Practice what you preach, kind of.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And so I go and I compete, and one of the things I'm looking forward to is I like what they've done this year at NASCA, is they allow you to compete in to do point sparring in more than one division. And so I'm able to do the 30 plus and the 40 plus age category. So I'm looking forward to winning grand championship in both categories again.
All right. You're riding off doing that at the Philly Pro-Am, and then coming in with that same confidence into the next one, which is great.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming on to the Power Chat series to talk about the Philly Pro-Am tournament, and also just shed some light more about your philosophy and your mentality as a martial artist and coach.
Of course. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys. I love what you do. This is the type of thing that we need for more people to see. This is the type of thing that, like seeing folks like you, take their professionalism and their experience in our sport and bring it to a larger public, a larger, population of people is important. So kudos to you for doing what you do. Point Fighter Live and the rest of you guys are amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a great way to stay, connected with the sport, but also take my journalism background and put it into something like a passion. So I appreciate that.
Awesome.
All right. For everybody watching, thanks for watching the Power Chat series and the Philly Pro-Am post show. And I hope you enjoyed the show.
Awesome. Power, baby.